Hi, welcome back to Make It with Mod Podge. My name's Cathie and today I've got a really fun video to share with you if you're looking to make in bulk, making for some bazaars and summer boutiques, or making for those teachers that you love for teacher appreciation. I'm going to show you how you can take some pre-collage papers and of course some Mod Podge. I'm using satin today, and we are going to do them on these bookmark and book blanks. This is such an easy project, so if you want to get the kids involved, you can, and you can collage these till the sky's the limit. All right, let's get started. I'm starting with plain wood bookmarkers and collage papers. First, I'm going to paint the backside and the edges of the bookmarker with gold paint. This is treasure gold paint. You could use silver, you could use whatever color you want. I like this color because it looks so gorgeous with these collage papers. You don't need to do the front side too much, just make sure you get the edge, and then paint one coat on the back side. Next, once it's dry, you're just going to trace it onto your collage paper. You can use scrapbook paper here, wrapping paper, old greeting cards. Cut that out, and don't worry about being too precise because once it's glued down with the Mod Podge, we'll trim away that extra. So I'm erasing my pencil lines. Normally I like to do this on the back side, but with this I make sure I line it up properly, so I'm doing it on the front side. I'm adding the Mod Podge satin to the back of my paper, and then I'm just going to position it right on top of the bookmarker. I'm pressing with my fingers and getting it into position, and just smoothing down to make sure it's really sealed down. Once it's dry, you can trim away the edge. Really easy to do, just work right around the piece, trimming it away. Before we move on to finishing it off, we want to make sure we poke that hole. I'm just using a toothpick to go all the way through and make sure that I have the paper pushed to the insides. Next, I'm going to detail it out with a little bit more of that gold paint. And here I like to use a foam brush. You can see I'm just using a little bit of paint and I'm tapping it along that edge. This just gives it a fun little finished look. You definitely don't need to do this step. Once that's dry, you can top coat with more Mod Podge. I only did one coat here. You could do a couple of coats if you want to. And then go ahead and add a tassel or a yarn or a bead to that top there. Look how gorgeous these all turn out. They're so fun and unique. They make great gifts. All right, let's do those little mini notebooks. You can buy these notebooks in bulk at online retailers, and I've seen them at the craft stores. You can see that I've measured my paper and I'm trimming it to size. For these books, it's a 4x4 piece of paper. So I have that trimmed down. Really simple, and I'm using that same formula. I'm just gonna add a nice thin coat to the back. I'm not using the Mod Podge to seal it down because this is just a fun little temporary project. Go ahead and place that onto the book. You got a little bit of time and wiggle room to get it into position, and then smooth with your fingers and press really good along those edges. Now, like I said, I didn't do a top coat, but you certainly can do a top coat here. Next, I'm going to tie the whole thing up and just give it that cute little gift look. I've got some twines and I'm doing all different colors. These turn out absolutely adorable. Perfect little craft show sellers and perfect little mini gifts. You can pair these with a bookmark or a little pencil, something like that. Thanks so much for joining me today. I did want to share with you that I use the Mod Podge satin for this project, but you could also use matte or gloss. And next week, I'm going to be back here working with the paper formula. I'm going to be doing some collage journals and some sketchbooks. All right, I'll see you next week. And until then, have a super crafty week. Bye.